we find love. Prophecies fulfilled, tongue shall cease, knowledge will vanish away. But the love that Yahweh has given breathes everlasting life. If we could love just like Messiah did, freedom through redemption we chant. We could love just like Yeshua did, his life on that tree he gave. If we could love just like Messiah did, freedom through redemption we chant. We could love just like Yeshua did, his life on that tree he gave. Love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Burn down hatred with kindness abound. Peace and unity got to prevail. When only, if only, we find love. What is this I see? Jealousy increase. Soon you will vanish away. But the love that Yahweh
Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the Truth Be Told Flex Podcast. It is all Unraveling, episode number 28. And this is the day that the Greeks called again
Thursday.
Indeed, it is. And it has been a wonderful week. I am, let me say, glad to see you, brother. Very glad to see you. And I think we got a really good show laid out today, man. A really good show.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's been a blessing, man. Sitting here, dude, you know, doing this here week in and week out. And, you know, there are some people who are supporting us. So to all of you guys who tune into this show weekly, from Truth Be Told Flex Podcast, myself, Shahir Yeshua Judah, and my co-host, my family, Ad Safa, we would like to say the water, because without you guys, you know, the show wouldn't be nothing at all. It wouldn't. It would be absolutely.
I wish we had an applause button.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something that we're gonna put up, man. We gonna figure that out to get us an applause button, man, because there are some things that need to be applauded. You know, when it comes to this show, man. But with that being said, brother, man, we got some juicy stuff, man. We do.
Man. We've been talking all week.
We have been talking all week, which makes for a pretty good show. With so much derogatory stories that are in the news, that is in the media, that's in movies, that's in music, when it comes to us as Black people, right? Before we really get started, I want to take time in celebrating Black excellence, brother. You brought this story to my attention, so if you don't mind, go ahead and take the lead on it, man. Let the people know what we're talking about.
About the IQ. They're the three smartest children, so-called Negroes, the smartest people in the world. And they would not show it or nothing like that. I had to go dig for that.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, these are three excellent Black babies who's doing their thing just because they Judah. Because it's in us to be the best of the best. I'm gonna say it. We better than all nations. I got that in scripture, so don't argue with me. What we used to say? I ain't old enough. I'm
not old enough. Exactly. I did not write this. I'm not old enough, man. And all praises to Ahaya too, because, you know, very seldom do these type of stories come out. This here is in your web, if you want to find it. And this is 3 Black kids, you know, according to the article. 3 Black kids currently have the highest intelligence quotient in the world. That surpasses Bill Gates, Albert Einstein, and Isaac Newton. Now, how intelligent those guys are is up for debate, right? But for these 3 so-called Black geniuses to even be referenced with these type of individuals, I thought that she did. Okay, then that's why I couldn't find it. Okay, but to be mentioned with these individuals that the world deem as geniuses, right? You know, it surpasses. Why is this not being spoken of?
Yeah,
Why is this not being talked about? And this is the type of things too that when you look at antiquity, and they always talk about science, and they talk about art, and they talk about religion, and they talk about mathematics, they always give credence to the Egyptians' kingdom. They'll give credence to the Greek kingdom when it comes to astrology. They give credence to the Roman kingdom. Medes and Persians got history. But if you could go to Barnes and Nobles, you could go to a library, you would never find Hebrew Israelite history and what we have done to society. And all of those nations that I just called off, where do you think they got their information and knowledge from?
I know for a fact Egyptians got it from Abraham. Abraham taught them everything. That's in history book.
Not only Abraham, but Joseph as well.
Yeah. Man, show the pictures, man, so they won't be distracted with that Rihanna crap.
Oh man, I didn't even man, this be in them articles, and I appreciate that. But yeah, here we go. That's a little video that is in the article.
Okay.
And here go their names right here. Romani Wilford. She scored 162. They say it's higher than Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawkins. That's the dude in the wheelchair right there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. 16-year-old boy. IQ is also higher than Bill Gates. Says when he was only 10, he wrote a paper on philosophy of fairness. Face-to-Face Africa reports. Romani Wilford has an IQ score of 162. You know, that's what it is. Then you have a little girl by the name of Anala Beavers. Hers was over 145. This little girl could identify every letter of the alphabet by the time she was 10 months old. I don't even know if I was really talking at 10 months.
Wow. Well, you know, I was 10 months. I had 2 jobs, so.
Okay. I believe that the way your pops work. I believe that. When you came out the womb, he probably put you to work, man. That's a hard working brother, man.
He put a time card right in my hand.
Yeah, that's real. That brother like a Jamaican, man. That brother there would go to work, get off, and go right back to work. Get off that job to go back to work, to go back to the job that he had just got off 2 jobs before. This real talk, right? But yeah, at 10 years old, man, I mean, at 10 months old, this little girl was able to recognize every letter of the alphabet, you know, according to Face-to-Face Africa. And then we got Alina George, who was a 140, member of the Manessa from the United Kingdom. The 4-year-old girl has an obsession for words and numbers. Has an obsession for words and numbers. She loved words and numbers. So there we go, man. They be bombarding you with those articles.
Yeah, shoving it down your throat.
Yeah, they really do, man. So there you go, man. Before we go any farther, let's celebrate Black excellence. This is the future generation of Israel right there.
Ones that's not even trying to twerk, one that's not trying to call women B's and H's. They got their mind right.
They got their mind right, and they're doing something that you know, that needs to be talked about. I don't know no other way. I don't know no other way, you know what I'm saying, to discuss this, man. You know, what needs to be talked about in the news is not talked about, and what don't need to be talked about in the news is always talked about. And there's a saying, go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say that's what we here for.
Exactly. That is what we here for. There's a saying that you are what you eat, and you are also what you watch. You are also what you listen to. You are also what you partake of. And this is why they are always feeding this junk of our people to us, because they know that the more we see it, the more we hear it, the more we partake of it, the more we'll start believing that that's what we are. Yep. So
product
all
of the environment.
praises. Exactly. A product of their environment. Exactly. Yep. Brother.
Yeah.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, man.
She still
this is very silent, is she not?
Oh, okay.
You haven't heard anything from this sister. Now, the last that I remember, she was put in charge of immigration. It was her job to make sure that the things that happened at the border was to be taken care of, right? And for the brother who was commenting saying that, we saying that these people are running stuff, to let you know, brother, we know how this system works. We know that the president and all of the world leaders that are before the cameras are nothing more than talking heads. We know this. I know that Joe Biden is not running nothing no more than Obama ran anything during his term, no more than George Bush ran anything in his term. But these are the people who have been set up by the puppet masters to look as if they are, right? So with that being said, it's becoming a frequent occurrence that these two are numbskulls and that they have absolutely no idea what they're doing.
You said your age, you felt them.
They have no idea what they're doing. This next story, man, I'm gonna tell you this. One of my biggest issues that I have with this next story is that we have to be induced to feel a certain type of way when it comes to stuff like this. We don't look at our brothers and sisters of other nations, even though we are the same people, because we buy into the fact that we're black and we're American and they Haitians or they are Puerto Ricans, right? We the same people. We the same people. The only difference between us is a bus stop. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, a boat stop, Salakia. The only difference is a boat stop. You look at them and you look at us. The phenotype is the same, man. The phenotype is the same, right? And so when we see images like what we are about to see, it should bother you. It should bother you because once again, when you see what happened to Freddie Gray, you're seeing it happen right now at the borders of America. When you see what happened to Fidel Castile, you're seeing it again happen at the borders, right? I named this one here. Is this? Where is it at? Is this a scene
out of the movie Roots?
Yeah, is this a scene out of the movie Roots? Hold on, it's not supposed to be scrolling down there. There we go. Is this a scene out of the movie Roots? Because when I saw these images, that is exactly what I thought that I was looking at. I thought that this was a scene out of the movie Roots. That's exactly what it looked like.
And it reminded me of that scripture too. I seen the enemies on horses and the kings on the ground.
I believe that's Ecclesiastes 10:7. Get that. Let me see if I'm right. Let me see if this old mind of mine is working right today. I could be wrong. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that image right there. Man, these dadgum ads, boy, is something else, man. You can't do nothing without these ads.
What?
10:7.
I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
Read it one more again.
I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
So when you look at this image, is there more to it? Is there more to it?
He that diggeth the pit shall fall into it. No, that's it.
No, go ahead and read that too.
Okay, he that diggeth the pit shall fall into it, and also breaketh the hedge, a serpent shall bite him. Whoso removes the stone. Huh?
when you look at these images right here, you seeing the servants on the horses beating the princes of the earth. That's what you're seeing.
6 says, verse 6 right above it says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. And then it says, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
We are rich and don't even know it because they have turned everything upside down. We think that we are poor when in reality, when you listen to the scriptures, we're actually rich. This right here bothered me. Before we get into it totally, right? Before we get into it totally, let's get this the rock vent. Let's get this music. Let's get this music break, and we're going to come in and we're going to bang out the rest of this show. This is the Rock Out Bar, his new one, the vent, Keeping the Feast. All right? We're going to hit that, then we're going to come back, and we're going to bang this show out. What you got, Art?
Oh, no, I'm ready. You can go ahead.
Okay, then bet.
Chapter 2 and 38. Arise and stand, behold the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord, which have departed from the shadow of this world, and received glorious garments of the Most High. In times, blow the trumpets. When they hear us blowing them trumpets, that mean atonement is coming. We gotta keep the feast. Might not come out this booth for a week. Got a stone, I'ma shoot at the beast. They rejected him, now he the chief. They put nails in his hands and his feet. He gon' come at the last you believe. You know he gon' come back for the sheep. What you scared of? The angels is with us. Pitch a tent, we gon' stay in these scriptures. Hold your head up, redemption is nigh. We look up cause we counting the times. It's the end and we finally arrive. He gon' bring the wheat in his storehouse, and them tears gon' go in that fire. Flesh of your spirit, you gotta decide. We gotta keep the feast, and we gon' wake up the lost sheep. They tryna tell you it's all peace, but it could be war in a heartbeat. I gotta warn you, it's never gonna go back to normal. You see the system ain't for you, they testing out chemicals on you and closing up borders. We gotta keep the feast. He hid his face from us, we gon' seek. I pray I get to that year release. 2 Chronicles 7:14. If we stay humble, we gon' be redeemed. It ain't hard as it seems. This ain't alarm for the sheep, cause we falling asleep. The labors are few, but the harvest is deep. I'ma point you to him if you following me. Don't do this for clout. I just want the Father to see. We study prophets, we got the receipts. Gird your loins, this ain't time to retreat. Narrow path is the only way. We repenting and keeping his holy days. When I get there, I pray he don't close the gate. Scriptures say what they say, it ain't no debate. Boasting about tomorrow, you could lose your soul today. We gon' stay humble and motivate. Won't be tossed to and fro, this the sober way. Serpents lurking, I know a snake. Say it's love, but I know it's hate. Guard your light, we don't bite when they throw the bait. They know not what they do, I forgive you. Prepare for atonement, I'm keeping his feast. If I show no mercy to my neighbor, why should he have mercy on me? This walk is all about repentance. This walk is all about forgiveness. We gotta keep the feast. If you in the spirit, the sky's the limit. Blow the trumpets. We gotta keep the feast. Might not come out this booth for a week. Got a stone, I'ma shoot at the beast. They put nails in his hands and his feet. They rejected him, now he the chief. He gon' come at the last jubilee. What you scared of? The angels is with us. Pitch a tent, we gon' stay in these scriptures. Hold your head up, redemption is nigh. We look up cause we counting the times. It's the end and we finally arrive. He gon' bring the wheat in his storehouse, and them tears gon' go in that fire. And I got angels with me.
Did it again. Every week. Hey, I got a button over here that I need to push.
Yeah,
you guys can hear me.
I'm gonna make the bloopers reel.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make the bloopers reel.
Hey, look here, man. This is facts, okay?
Yeah.
America has brought in 95,000 Afghans. 95,000 Afghans. But when you see this video that we're about to show right now, you will see what they're doing to the Haitians that's at the border, that's just trying to have them a better life. When you think of Haiti, what's one of the things you think of?
Disaster.
Right. Not once, but twice they done hit with a 7.2, at least a 7.2 magnitude earthquake.
Right.
The people in Haiti are so deplorable and so poor to the point that their floors are made out of mud. Haiti is that bastard child that all the world has turned its head on. And these people have left Haiti, made it to South America, have been walking for months and got to the border, and this is the treatment that they receive. Here we go. Check it out.
Question on Haiti. There are photographs and reports of border agents on horseback using what appear to be whips on Haitian migrants. Does the administration view that as an appropriate tactic? Can you speak to that? There are people who are upset about it.
Yeah, understandably so. I've seen some of the footage. I don't have the full context. I can't imagine what context would make that appropriate, but I don't have additional details. And certainly, I don't have additional context, April. I don't think anyone seeing that footage would think it was acceptable or appropriate.
I want to follow up on the question about Haitians and it's specifically these photos that are surfacing on Border Patrol agents seemingly using whips. I know you said that there's no context that it would be seen as inappropriate. So the question really is, why would this be happening under the Biden administration? Is this going to stop? What would I wonder sort of what are going to be the consequences if what we're seeing is what we're seeing?
I mean, Yamiche, it's all good questions. We just saw this footage. It's horrible to watch. I just have to get more information on it. Again, April, I don't have more information on it. I've also seen the video. I can't imagine what the scenario is where that would be appropriate. I'm certainly not suggesting that, but we've just seen the footage earlier this morning.
On the photo, I know you said that you're still assessing it, but just to add, if this is what we see, is it the president's stance or the White House's stance that whoever these border agents are using what seems to be whips on migrants that they would be fired or at least never be able to do that again?
Of course, they should never be able to do it again. I don't know what the circumstances would be. It's obviously horrific, the footage. I don't have any more information on it, so let me venture to do that, and we'll see if there's more to convey.
All right.
Her lying ass, man. That made me mad, brother. And I thought that was Kanye when I first saw this.
Yeah, man. I said the same thing. I said that brother there look like Kanye, don't he?
Yeah, but yeah, man. What she mean that I seen it, but I need more information?
That's one of the things that I wanted to talk on, man, because when you hear her talking, she almost seems as if she is willing to give these individuals a pass for the treatment that they're doing, right?
Yep.
She also made the comment on what you were saying that I don't know what the scenario is, not saying that it's appropriate. Well, that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying that if you knew what the scenario was, then maybe there's a reason why what we're seeing is appropriate. There is no appropriation to this.
No, the scenario is they got hit. They need somewhere to go. Instead of helping, y'all whooping them.
Instead of helping, y'all whooping them. And it makes absolutely no sense because, like I said, you know, America has allowed, how many did I say? 95,000 Afghans in. We have been in war with these people for over 20 years, but yet you had 95,000 of them in, right? But then you putting 86 of them on planes and even more of them back on planes and sending them back over. This imagery should have all of us in the outrage.
Yep. Whatever color you is.
Whatever color you are, man. But what this shows, I'm going to tell you what this shows to me, This shows the spirit of America. That's what it shows.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has ever changed, man. Our life has never meant anything to America. It's never meant anything to America. This is the same country where the president before this regime called Puerto Rico a shithole country.
Right.
That's what he called it after they got hit with the hurricane.
Yeah, I remember he said it.
You know,
My
and so
wife
while
had,
we walk,
I said my wife had asked. We was watching some about them, and she said, "Well, how did they get food?" I said, "Red Cross gonna do their thing, just to keep an eye on them. They not helping. They keeping an eye on them. It's a lot Red Cross is to do underhand because they not trustworthy."
well, they kind of got what they want in the sense of the Haitians exiting.
Oh yeah, for that land, yeah,
exactly, because the land of Haiti is the minerals in Haiti is off the charts.
That's what I told her too.
Exactly.
I said they want that land. I said that land that it can be destroyed. That joke gonna fertile right on back.
That's exactly what it is, right? But all of the world has turned their backs on the people of Haiti, and the people of Haiti have absolutely no love whatsoever. And I mean, now there was another thing. That she said. She said, she said, anyone that sees this footage should not feel comfortable with it. I don't care about what anyone that sees this footage feel comfortable with. I'm at home. You at home. Everybody else is at home that's watching this footage. What I have a problem with is the authority that were on the horses that felt comfortable with executing that type of abuse. Why did they feel comfortable with using their whips or reins? Okay, I call it what it is, right? Because one of the guys gonna come and say that it's a part of, the Border Patrol. Let's be clear here, guys. These are not whips. They're called reins. Stay with me now. They're used to guide the horse. That's what he said. And how are you gonna come to defend your own people? That's like me going to rob a bank. Then I'm gonna be my own attorney, and I'm gonna be the judge, and I'm gonna be the jury.
Right.
I'm judging myself. You see what I'm saying? I know what I'm looking at, whether it's reins or not. They had absolutely no business at all running them men down like that with those horses, man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now. The reason why they got away with it because there's still a law that's open for that and never closed. Just like the hanging laws in the South is still open.
Exactly. They don't care, man. You know what I'm saying? They would rather them people just starve to death than to help them people. How many pregnant women and children are at that border right now?
Now, did you see the story about the brother who took the school bus, and loaded everybody in there? It took him 13 hours to drive, and he was the first bus to make it to a destination?
From Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, that's what that was?
Yeah,
that just came across my feed.
Yeah,
okay.
That was from Hurricane Katrina because, once again, America would not send help to our people when we needed it the most. So that brother took a school bus, loaded up the school bus, and drove 13 hours from New Orleans to Houston.
It was full.
It was full to get his people up out of there, man. This is insane, man. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how you shape this up. This, what we saw at this border, or what we're seeing at this border, is insane. What are you sending these people back to is the question.
Right. And what is so important that you got to keep your job versus being a human and say, this is wrong. This should not be done on TV.
Come on, man. Inhumane. Inhumane. What is inhumane? Right? This is life, man. But America is showing you who they are, though. There is nothing that you can say that would make me believe that they were not enjoying what they was doing, man. They was enjoying that.
Yeah.
Because they don't see people. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
They don't.
They didn't see people.
At all. At all.
You know? I'm going to show this image one more time.
And look at that. They was enjoying swinging that whip.
Yes. That looked like a scene out of Roots, man. That do not look like, that right there do not look like that should be in real time. That looked like something in the 1800s right there, man.
Right.
That's what that looked like. That looked like they done caught them a slave that had been running.
Right.
And all this brother want is a better. I mean, stay in Haiti. Haiti has had a president killed. They just got hit with the earthquake. If I'm not mistaken, a hurricane or a big rain washed up over there as well. There is nothing there. What are they supposed to do? But yet you feel it within yourself. And I know the white boy went home and went to sleep like he didn't do nothing, man.
Yeah. Talked about it before he went to bed.
Talked about it before he went to bed with his kids, man. Talked about it before he went to bed with his kids. Ecclesiastes 10:7 again.
Wait. Just left it open.
My bad.
Oh, no, you good. I'm glad I know the Bible, so I know where it's at. Think I do. You got it up? I don't know. You're embarrassing me now. I seen.
There you go.
What the heck? Sorry,
You good? Do I need to find it?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm going through right now.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Ecclesiastes 10. I'm gonna start at verse 6. You got it out?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Folly is set in a great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what that image is, man. And they don't even know it. Edom is going to get his time, man.
Oh, yeah.
He is going to get his time. And I don't care how you shape this up. And when they asked the White House about it, you see what kind of response came out of the White House, as if, that we don't know, what the whole scenario is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter what the scenario is. These people was running away from a bear to come head on with a lion. Running from a bear just to be met with a lion. Mm-hmm. At a place where they thought that they would be able to receive help. Because when other nations hear about America, they only hear the good news about America. Oh, right. If we could just make it over there, we're going to be all right. Okay. You come over here, you're going to find out what all right is when you meet that blue-eyed death.
Yep.
When you meet that blue-eyed death.
You have to be born and grow up with that devil in order to know what he's about and know what he's talking about, know when he's lying, just like we did.
Man. And then many of us over here, we still in love with that boy. We still in love with him.
Yeah, wait till July 4th. We'll see how many of us be in love with him.
I know, right?
Stocks, everything.
America's little white girl, man.
Oh, God.
America's little white girl. I'm going to tell you what America do too, man. America has pumped this story, almost to a point where I'm about to say that I call, bull on it. Mm-hmm. How do I know she's really dead? How do I know that she was ever really missing? How do I know? Because it's starting to look like a dadgum Lifetime movie to me.
Yeah, I said
that's what it's starting to look like. It's starting to look very, very scripted.
Yeah.
Right. Because one thing I know about America, what America would do is America will create a story to create an atmosphere. What we would call inciting a riot. That's what we would call it. Right.
Yeah.
And so they got this thing, man. There is a term, right, that is called missing white girl syndrome.
Yeah.
Yep. Missing white girl syndrome. And it's true, man. It's true. We have been talking about the missing when it comes to our people for years. And we never get real coverage on it. Get real coverage on it. This little white girl, Gabby Petito, come up missing, man, and this is all they can talk about. I'm not being insensitive. By no means am I saying that if this story is true, that her life don't matter. By no means am I saying that, I don't care. But what I am saying, I'm tired of hearing about this little white girl. I go to bed, I hear about her. I wake up, I hear about her. I go through the day, I'm hearing about her. They got all the world looking for this white girl.
Yeah, like I told you before, you remember the first in our generation, the America's little white girl, the one that fell down the well, wasn't it Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica, baby Jessica.
Baby Jessica. We had the whole world stop.
Whole world stopped because the little girl fell down the well. Whole world stopped. When all they had to do was do what they did was get the little white girl out the well. And at that time, I was so young, thinking that I'm an American, I was wrapped up in the story. Wrapped up in the story. Oh, thank Jesus they got that little baby out that well. Right? Thank Jesus. I got a stat here. It says 21% of indigenous people who are mostly girls remain missing for 30 days or longer. Only 11% of white people remain missing that long, according to the report. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
When we come up missing, we stay missing. We stay missing. When they come up missing, they get found.
Right.
The report also found that 30% of indigenous missing and murdered people made the news, compared to 51% of white people. When coverage was done on indigenous victims, it was more likely to contain violent language, portray the victim in a negative light, and provide less information according to the report. So this is why we stand missing, because when you report it in a way that it's not that important. That's just another nigga missing for the most part.
And they got to put it out there like they did, but how they do it with news. Knowing nobody's looking at news articles. So they got to say they put the information out there.
You see what I'm saying? Check this one out, man. We got another footage.
Oh.
This isn't saying that Gabby Petito is not important. What it is saying is that there's an overrepresentation in media when white women go missing, and an underrepresentation in media when Black, brown, and indigenous women go missing. So for example, Lacey Peterson, Natalie Holloway, Chandra Levy, these are all household names. We can all think of their faces when we say their names, but I'm willing to bet that no one watching or listening can name one single Black or brown woman who went missing who became a household name. And there are comparable examples of young, beautiful, middle-class women where every other factor is aligned with, say, Gabby Petito, but the only differentiator is race. So for example, Nikki Fitz, 32-year-old mother in California, went missing in 2016. How many people know her name? Her 2-year-old daughter went missing with her. That child is still missing to this day. So we're talking about representation.
And this isn't just, you might look at media coverage, or a layperson might look at media coverage and say, okay, well, those are the stories that get blown up and that get covered. But what is the harm? What is the harm of it?
Yeah, so unlike with other stories that maybe are, over underrepresented, this actually has real life implications for women of color. Why? This makes them less safe because perpetrators, predators know that if you want to get away with murder, you seek the victim that no one is going to look for. So this has very real implications for women who are walking around today. Also, when there's all this media attention, that puts pressure on law enforcement. That directs resources to these searches. It increases reward money. So these women are much more likely to be found because of the media attention.
This is something that we have seen before, right? This is actually a term that was that the late great Gwen Ifill, who we miss very dearly, came up with. She talked about this at a Journalists of Color conference back in 2004. So let's listen to that.
I think at the time when 94 in Rwanda, we were looking at, Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding and Wayne Bobbitt. Everybody knows what happened to Bobbitt.
I call it the missing white woman syndrome. if there's a missing white woman, we're going to cover that every day.
It's true.
What's changed?
Yeah, nothing has changed since then. And, you know, we miss Gwen Ifill because she was a truth teller. She told the truth. I have covered tons of crime, and I can spot a quote unquote perfect victim from a mile away. I could have told you that this Gabby Petito story was going to blow up because we all know who gets attention. We all know who gets coverage. That has to change. Imagine the men, women, and children in the community where Gabby Petito went missing, who know that for the last 10 years, more than 700 Indigenous people have gone missing and nobody has said a word. And one missing white woman turns up in their backyard and the world pays attention. That is insulting.
Salakia. It's very much insulting, but it goes back to what we were saying, that we're not Americans.
Right.
You know, you don't treat family like that. There are family members that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we are related. There are family members that we have that I don't necessarily like. But I'm gonna tell you this: if they need help, all they got to do is call.
Right.
Whether I like them or not. You dig what I'm saying? You don't turn your back on family. And if America really thought of us as family, there wouldn't be a discrepancy in the coverage when we come up missing.
No, if they thought we was family, they wouldn't try to erase our history by saying slavery never happened.
You see? But you would never think of a slave as family to begin with.
Mm.
Once a slave, always a slave.
There you go.
So even though they tell us that we're free, we're not, because they still look at us as the product that they brought us over here to perform, which is to be slaves.
Right.
So when one little white girl come up missing, well, that's family. It don't matter if she is PWT. It don't matter if she a redneck. It don't matter if she is a hillbilly. That's family, because we came here, took this land for ourselves, which means we have to protect our own.
And they doing a good job at it.
Look at this stat. At the end of 2020, the FBI had over 89,000 active missing person cases, and 45% of those were people of color. How many of those did you hear on the news?
None. None.
Over 45% of those were people of color. Right. What was that game that they had on cell phones where kids was running around looking for this individual that they could find them in the park and
the Pokemon?
I thought that was Pokemon. That's how the world is right now with this Gabby Petito, man.
Yeah.
When you look at the news, man, you got people. Oh, I talked to the guy at the restaurant.
Yeah,
and
that's the part that got me.
You know, I seen them both, and they were both arguing, and you know, I saw that vehicle. They got the whole world on
a rainbow was over her house, and a rainbow was over his house. That's a sign that God is gonna find her.
You see what I'm saying? And look at the resources that they are using right now to find this dude, man. All of the money that they're using, man. The FBI, they got America's Most Wanted guy going to run a whole program on it. You go on YouTube, YouTube Gabby Petito, they have a whole hour documentary on this one little missing white chick, man. But what about the black parents who have kids that are missing in this same land?
Yep, the 45%.
Why are they not being talked about? Look at the little script up under the video. It says minority adults who go missing often stereotyped as being involved in crime or violence, poverty, and addiction, which takes attention away from their cases. Wow. How many times have we seen that? Yes.
That is true.
How many times have we seen that?
Yeah. Every time somebody dies, they say drugs was involved. They had a heart problem. Yeah, they bring up all their records. But this
all the past.
white
That
girl
ain't got
just
nothing to do with.
right. Finding the brother.
Ain't got nothing to do with. Because he was on drugs, I guess that means that he was less important to find.
The drugs that they gave us.
The drugs that they gave us. The drugs that they gave us.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm gonna tell you, this is the power of social media, because the white man always try their best to keep up with what's going on. They ran this story so much to where we as a people, we started noticing, wait a minute, man, why we always hearing about this little white girl, right? You go to social media, man, you got people blowing this thing up. Wait a minute, ain't nobody found this person over here. They stopped looking for this individual over here. Look at this right here. Paula Cassie Hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter, Cassie Hill, at the time was 16 years old. Shamika Cassie disappeared without a trace near her home in St. Louis, Missouri. Just a few days after Christmas in 2008, the baby's still missing, and we ain't heard nothing about it. And so now the news media is running segments on the news. I heard it on Good Morning America this morning. Is there really a such thing as missing white girl syndrome? You're dadgum right it is. This is America's little white girl.
Is there a such thing? That's probably how that woman died after she came out with all that truth.
That's like asking, is there a such thing as white privilege? I asked my wife and I, we went to go eat at Cracker Barrel. You see how I said that? Cracker Barrel. Cracker. Crack. No, man. Cracker Barrel got some good food. Them white folks can cook some good breakfast, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. But anyway, we sit there, man, and I'm looking around Cracker Barrel. I don't know if anybody ever been to Cracker Barrel or whatnot, but that's one of the most whitest places that you could be.
Yes, it is.
One of the most whitest places you could be. I mean, all of the pictures on the wall number white people. I mean, old white people. And so as I'm looking, I asked my wife, I said, can you imagine a world where it'd be black owned and black ran? And we would have the power to create laws to benefit us? Like we sitting here looking at all of these white folks on this wall. Instead of that, it'd be vintage black people, man, that we running this thing. Can you imagine that, man?
I would eat them.
I would eat, just think about that. But see, we so brainwashed that we can't even begin to think like that. We can't even begin to see that that's plausible. And this is all that the word of the Most High is telling us is going to be.
Come on.
That's what the word telling us is going to be. While Christians walking around talking about they finna get ready to go to heaven, Daniel chapter 7 tell you that it's finna be a new kingdom that's going to be given to the saints. And it's going to last forever. Obadiah tell you that Esau finna get his head knocked off.
Yeah. And what do? We say, no, maybe if we just try to fix prophecy, it won't happen.
You see what I'm saying?
They don't want Master to get hurt, man.
They don't want Master to get hurt. You got two different type of Negroes, man. You got that one Negro, who is that there nigga on that
gnat.
On that gnat. And then you got the other Negro that'll cut Master's throat in his sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You got two different type of Negroes. They don't care about us, man. Michael Jackson tried to tell us, they do not care about us. Only about 1/5 of missing person cases involves minorities are covered by the news according to 2016 analysis, man. We got to hire people, use money that we don't have in order to try to find our babies.
Versus them just getting out there, staying out there all night, combing the whole city, the woods, the sea, and be able to go fund me. No, we got to come out our pockets.
We got to come out our pocket with money that we do not have to get them to find our babies. They're not going to talk about it. And if they do, they're going to find what's negative. Yeah. Like Trayvon when he got killed. What him smoking weed got to do with him being killed?
By a man who do crystal meth.
Well, tell me. Every time something happened to us, they go and find our worst and bring it up before the people. And then you got them white people saying, well, he was just a little thug. What you think that he was going to get?
Wow.
See?
Not a curl.
Not a curl. And you heard what the lady say when you act when the media and police and America as a whole give you that sense that you don't care, that gives predators the green light. Hey, that's who I'm gonna hunt. Why? Because if they come up missing, ain't nobody gonna look for them. That's why young ladies are in danger. Not to even think about how they over sexualizing our young black queens. We need to get up out of this joint, man. We need to have the mind state that we need to go. We cannot correct the problem that's in America because it's not a problem to America. This is what America is. This is who they are.
That's what that flag represents.
That's what that flag represents. We need to stop waiting for them to correct it because they're not going to correct it because to their eyes, there is no problem, Ayan.
Right.
There is no problem. Back to COVID news.
Oh, man.
The NFL has required all of their management to get vaccinated. If you are a head coach, you are any type of coordinator, if you are any type of general manager, anything in management, you have to. Buffalo Bills have the New York Jets have fired some of their head coaches because many of them have refused to get the jab. NFL is nothing but a slave form, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Though, and majority of the teams are owned by Jews as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And those Jews look at their players as nothing more than cattle. That's it. That's how they look at them. You see, and we look on the outside. We like, well, they get paid millions of dollars. You got to understand what is millions of dollars compared to the billions that these individuals make them. Think about that, man. So even though they getting paid millions of dollars, they making their owners billions.
Right.
And then the owners still treat them like crap. You got a player right now who still should be playing in the NFL that is out of a job, may not get a job because he refused to just disclose whether or not if he got the vaccination. Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Don't know if he got it or not, but he refused to disclose whether he got it or not, right? So here we got this guy by the name of Vinny Curry, New York Jets, been in the league for a while. His career is probably about to come to an end. Why? That bottom picture down there says it all. This dude got the jab, promoted the crap out of it, and now his playing career is over due to blood clots. Let me run this clip.
Envy not our oppressor.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Vinny Curry. I got the COVID-19 vaccine, and I'm joining our partners at Atlantic Health System to tell you why you should too. It's easy, safe, effective in protecting yourself, family, friends, and others against the virus. Let's reach the end zone together. So wash your hands, practice social distance, and most importantly, get vaccinated. To learn the facts about the vaccine and where you should get vaccinated, go to the URL below.
when
I don't
you
even know
look
what to
this,
say.
when
I
you
don't even know
look
what to
this,
say.
when you look this guy up, Safa, the only thing that you'll find is Vinny Curry has red blood disorder. That's what they say. You can't find nothing in the news that says that this guy took the vaccine, right? Only way we know he took it is because he told on himself, "Hi, I'm Vinny Curry, and I took the COVID-19 vaccine." You can't find it nowhere. You Google him, you're not. The only thing you're going to find is Vinny Curry has red blood disorder and has to sit out the season.
I
When
don't
in
know.
reality, his career is probably over with, right? Now, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked my wife. This is an athlete. I love football. I'm going to go on and be honest with you because football is it's a gladiator sport, man. And it's a gladiator sport that's being played by our people as well. Even though I know how the NFL treat our people, don't nobody do what our people do on that football field the way our people do.
Come on.
Matter of fact, I put a post up not long ago, and I was looking at a football game. I said, while all the world is seeing black people or Negroes, I'm seeing Hebrew Israelites at their greatest. You get into that book, Jasher, you will see how great a people we are.
Oh, yeah.
Judah, that's Incredible Hulk. You understand what I'm saying? That's Incredible Hulk. There wouldn't be a character Incredible Hulk if them people had not got into our books.
Right.
The Jasher. To see that there was an individual that was so strong that he'll throw a stone up in the air, and when it come down, he crush it with his thigh.
With his thigh.
You see?
Do a loud yell, a roar.
Right.
Everybody give birth and walls fall.
And the wall falls. And Pharaoh is like, what the heck? Right?
Get them up out of here.
Get them up out of here. Our people. So when I'm looking at the NFL, I'm looking at Judah be Judah because we the cream of the crop, right? And here it is, they done got this young man, Vinny, right? And convinced him to take the jab, and now he's getting blood clots. And blood clots is something that is synonymous with these jabs.
Mm-hmm.
It run with these jabs. So the question that I ask is, him being an athlete, been playing this sport since a kid, Pop Warner to junior high to high school to D1 college. And then he was blessed enough to perfect his craft well enough that he was able to play this sport on the grandest of all stages in the NFL. Never, not one time in his life did he ever have blood clots. Now all of a sudden, after the jab, he got blood clots.
So
he got blood clots.
Never, it's not a history of it.
No history whatsoever. But because he up under the gun, when you go and look at it, he'll come and say, "Oh, it's because of the surgery that I had. It has nothing to do with the vaccine."
Oh, okay. So he's the person. They gave him an answer to say.
They done already gave him an answer. Now at the bottom of my screen, Cole Beasley is a white boy. He's a white boy that used to play slot wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys up out of SMU, right? Cole Beasley say he ain't getting the vaccination. So I've been sitting back looking to see what the NFL gonna do with this white boy. Now, check this out. He was sent home to quarantine for 5 days. This story is funny, man. Hold on. Let me take that down right quick. He was sent home to quarantine for 5 days because he came in close contact with a fully vaccinated team trainer who tested positive for COVID-19. Beasley also allegedly was not wearing a mask. So again, the fully vaxxed trainer tested positive. Non-vaccinated Beasley tested negative. But Beasley was sent home quarantined. Make it make sense.
But the trainer still is out there.
Because Beasley didn't have a mask on and he's not vaccinated, but yet he tested negative.
Yeah, that's America.
Make it make sense, man.
It can't.
Make it make sense.
You go home.
Been,
you not sick, but you go home. You sick, you stay in front of everybody.
Right, because you vaccinated. We've been saying since the cocktail that came out, we've been telling people that the ones that's cocktailed up are the ones that's sick. That's what we've been telling people, man. It's about to be a real dark winter. I'm using the words of the president, and it's not because of the uncocktailed. It's because of those that are cocktailed.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody posted it the other day. Better get your affairs in order, because people are dropping like flies out here, and that's facts, man. How many people you think got that cocktail is now sitting around saying to themselves, "Man, I sure hate I got that thing."
I met a couple of them. Man.
Now they asking me to get a booster. You already got 2 of them working in you. Now they ask you to get a 3rd one. Only 25. I'm finna give facts here. Only 25% of that cocktail stays in your arm. The other 75%, which is about 72 million spike proteins, get into your bloodstream and start attacking all of your organs.
Hence blood clots.
Hence your blood clots. Now, you may be one of the ones that are blessed to have small blood clots that may be undetectable, but yet you still having blood clots. So think about 72 million giving you small blood clots over time, worrying at your heart arteries, worrying at your brain arteries, worrying at your lung arteries, worrying at your kidney arteries. Right. Over a period of time, it's going to break. You saw what happened to the levees in New Orleans, right?
Right.
Too much water made it break. I play dominoes. You know what I tell the man that play after me?
What?
Pressure make a pipe bust. Pressure make a pipe bust. Or you may be one of those like Vinny Curry who get blood clots that are so big to the point that you got to sit it down.
For a season.
Nah, his career over with, brother.
Yeah.
That brother ain't coming back. That brother didn't want to retire like that, man. And it never would have been back to what we call this. What do we call this? Consequences of bad choices.
And they not gonna do nothing for that man.
He been in the league long enough. He been in the league long enough to get his NFL, pension yearly. He been in long enough to retire, so he compensated. He gonna be compensated.
Well, I don't know, player. Everybody's a rookie to me.
Yeah, he been in the league long enough to get paid. I think you only got to do 4 years, to get that pension, right? But he been in long enough to retire and retire with some good money. So he gonna get that plus retirement, right? And I could be wrong. I believe that the insurance that they are up under continue to that they'll be able to. So, but still, athletes don't want to quit.
No.
Coming from a former athlete, I mean, how long was I down with my back? Because I didn't want to listen to my body and realize that I was old. You know.
I'm going through that right now.
I thought that I was gonna be crippled for life.
Yeah.
And so this brother did what the white man told him was right to do and gave this little old commercial. He was barely even able to read his script that was in front of him. And then the doctor tell him, yeah, did you notice that? Then the doctor say, man, I'm sorry, but you can't play, man. What you mean I can't play? And you can't tell people that you got the vaccine and it's the reason why. Can't do that. Anything negative about that vaccine, they put it down. So they don't even give people, this is one of the closing thoughts here. They don't even give people the option to weigh out the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to it. Only thing that they want out there in the news is positive information about the vaccine.
Right.
If they really told the truth on what this vaccine was doing to people, man, wouldn't nobody take it?
No. Well, somebody would. They would.
if they really told the truth about it, man, if they
I think-
really told the truth,
I think there's followers out there who would say that's just conspiracy theories and still take it.
well, that's
we
the show.
We have idiots in America, man.
Yeah, you right about that. You are absolutely right about that. We do. I have come to an understand. I was telling my wife this. That I understand now that we as people, we need somebody to tell us what to do and how to live our life. Because we don't have enough wherewithal our own self to be able to conduct ourselves. And the government have realized that. You see what I'm saying? And for the small percentage of us who are thinking for ourselves, they got a problem. We talked about Nikki last week. I don't know if people know that the news media is threatening that young lady's family.
No.
Yeah. Go check it out, man. And Nikki blasted back on them too, boy. Nikki a little pit bull, man. I had no idea. I don't like that chick, but she a little pit bull, man. And because they want to get more information on the cousin's friend who is impotent right now, right? And so she her family is in hiding right now, and they giving out some threats, man, and stuff like that. And Nikki ain't going for it, and it goes back to what we were saying is that you don't give people an opportunity to make a sound decision on if this is good for me or not. Don't just come and bring me a glass of water and say drink it. I don't even know where the water come from. I don't even know you. Why should I drink the water that you are giving me? You see?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they asking us to do. They asking us to put something foreign in our body. Paul said that my body is my temple. It's the temple of the Most High.
Right.
And I should not defile it. I should not defile it. And I don't know if you want me to do this or not, but I'm going to go ahead and do it so the people to know that you sacrificed to be here with me today. My brother is sick. My brother is not feeling the best.
Back.
Yeah, he is out of there, man. And but I want to thank you though, man.
I'm in love with Yasharala, man.
Yeah, Con, thank you. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we get out of here, man, go take care of yourself. You know, do what you got to do to get to feeling better. But that being said, man, that's the show, man. You know,
that ran smooth.
Once again, they treating us like like crap at the borders. You know, I mean, you turn on the news right now, you're gonna hear about the little white girl.
I'm just gonna turn on all of the world news in my room.
Yeah. And you're gonna hear about the little white girl. You know what I'm saying? And Vinny Curry's story should have been something that should have been put in the news as well, man. You gotta give people educated decisions to make. And for those who have really weighed out the matter and they decide they're gonna get it, well, that's fine. But at least you weighed out the matter. All they want people to do is listen to them. That's it. All they want people to do is listen to them. You can't let anybody else say anything, they don't know what they're talking about unless they saying that it's good for you. Now, if they saying that it's good for you, you can listen to them.
Right.
You can listen to them. With that being said, I am Shayur Yeshua Judah.
I'm Oxapah.
This is It's All Unraveling, episode number 28. What more needs to be said, heard, or seen for us to understand that they are our enemy, because they truly are our enemy. They are truly our enemy. And for those who be hanging around with us, we like to say the water. Please do not forget to like or dislike, hit that subscribe button, and leave us a comment. The email address is truthbetoldflexpodcast@gmail.com. Give us emails, on some show ideas or anything. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. We will respond back to those emails. With that being said, Shalom Israel, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you again next week, same time.